Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here. All right, so today we're going to get in depth on bus rides in the minor leagues. I've talked a lot about travel. I always get asked about bus rides. And so let's kind of get into it. Before we get to minor league bus rides, I always do this. I say, we're going to talk about bus rides in the minor leagues or the major leagues. I say, before we get there, we're going to go back a little bit, but we are. Because I want to go back first to college to give you a little insight. Because in college, you take bus rides everywhere. You don't really fly. You fly a few places. We flew to Miami, and I think we flew to maybe Tennessee, but usually in a bus because it's cheaper, right? Instead of buying plane flights for everybody. Unless you are Florida State or Ole Miss or Vanderbilt, I'm sure they fly everywhere, but not us at Wake Forest. I love my time at Wake Forest. You should definitely go there. But the buses are great. They're nice coach buses, and I never broke down, and you got nice TVs, and the bus feels like it's from this century, okay? Not so much in the minor leagues. The first time I got on a minor league bus, like most things in the minor leagues, I was like, this isn't the bus. Where's the real bus? And they were like, that is the real bus. I said, that's not a bus. But it was from 1872. It looked like the bus from Major League. I've told this before. If you haven't seen Major League, just go back and watch it and look at the bus that they drive in. That was the bus. And I'm not kidding. That was the bus. It looked like the bus was from 1970, okay? Not 18 something, but 1970. And maybe 1960. And so I got on the bus. I'm not kidding. The very first time I got on the bus, we drove to Boise, Idaho to open up the season. It was like an 8-hour bus ride, I think. And I got on the bus and it was really hot, like really hot. And this is the middle of summer because it was short season A-ball. And so the draft is in June. And then after the draft, you end up heading out to Eugene and you get there. I think the first game's about like the middle of June, maybe towards the end of June. So it's hot. And I'm like, there's no AC, turn the AC on. There's like, what is going on? Everyone's sweating. And I'm sitting next to Casey Smith. I don't know if you guys know Casey Smith. If you look at out front hitting, for all you baseball people out there, that's Casey Smith. Okay, he's a large human. He's like a bear. And so I'm sitting next to him, and I'm already like, geez, Casey, you take up like 2 spots here. And I'm like in the aisle. And I was pretty big then, too. I was probably 200 pounds, and he was probably like 240. And he was a power hitter. By the way, his batting practice was amazing. He was the first person I saw hit batting practice when I got to Eugene. I was like, I can't play here. I can't. This guy hits every ball into the trees. He hits every ball 450 feet. Like, I can't do that. So he's a large human, okay? So I'm already crammed up against him because in the minor leagues, there's 2 seats obviously and there's 2 seats here and 2 seats here. And like, you don't think you're getting, the seat and then no one next to you. No. You're getting somebody next to you and they're usually going to be a big person. And so I'm already uncomfortable and now I'm sweating. So I'm like, please turn the AC on. Please turn the AC on. Well, guess what? There was no AC. It was broken, okay? So first trip, no AC, driving to Idaho, terrible. So I'm like, wow, this is going to be a long season because the stadium stinks. It was my mother-in-law always says things have character, when the house looks, old as hell and like it's decrepit and it's probably going to fall over and people are like, oh, but it has character. No, it doesn't. It's a piece of crap, okay? There's some houses that have character, but this stadium, I guess you could say it had character, but it was old and the bathroom was old and the clubhouse was gross and water's leaking and and the bus is disgusting, okay? So it all went together. It was minor league baseball. And so, we finally get to where we're going and we survived and we're fine and we take another trip or so. And then we're up in Vancouver, Canada, which was a long trip as well. And we break down on the ride home, right? Of course we do. You can't go a month without breaking down. And I don't know what was wrong with it. The engine fell out of it. I don't know, but we needed a spare part. We needed a part, and we couldn't get it because when you're leaving Canada and, the game ends at 10 and then you're on the bus at probably 11:30 and you drive a little bit and now it's midnight and all of a sudden you're on the side of the road, which you end up on the side of the road a decent amount, but you never think the engine fell out. And so they turn around, they're like, yeah, we're going to be here for a while. Fellas, something's wrong with the bus and we can't get anyone to come out until the morning. So, you got to turn the bus off. You got to sit there. We sat there from like midnight till, I don't know, 6:30 in the morning, somewhere around there. And it's not comfortable again. You got Casey Smith, snoring on you right next to you. I'm just kidding. He wasn't snoring on me that time. I don't even know if I sat next to him that trip. But you got somebody snoring, and then you got, in the back of the bus, you're typically going to have most of your Latin players. You have a lot of Dominican players, and they like to, at least on my team, they like to play music, and, it was loud, and they sing and stuff, and, so you get that going on, and they don't want to go to sleep. And then you've got another group of guys, they like to play cards, and so all the lights are on, they're playing cards, and then you got the other guys like me who might read a book, and then I just want to close my eyes and go to sleep, and you can't, because imagine going to sleep with, reggaeton on, and then, cards and lights and people screaming at each other, you're not sleeping. And you got Casey Smith over here, and so you stay up pretty much the whole night, and then finally the part comes and you fix it. Now it's like 6:30, the sun's coming up, and good news, you still got an 8-hour bus trip back. And so you get back, and then we had to play right away. We got off the bus, and they gave us pizza. We came off the bus, they had pizza, thank God. They didn't give us peanut butter and jelly. And they were like, go play. The game, literally, we didn't even warm up or anything. It was like, go play. The other team's here, go play. And that first at bat, I couldn't even see. My parents were there. They flew out, and I couldn't even see. And they pitched the ball to me, and there were 3 balls coming at me, and I hit the ball in the middle, and it was a line shot to left field. I got the first, and I was like, I can't see. I don't know how I got a hit there. But that's bus trips. That's bus trips, okay? Now, when you get a little bit older, you move up in levels, the buses get a little bit better. They slowly get better. And so when you get to, A ball, they're better. And you get to double A, and they're a little better. You're probably not going to break down as much. And they have nicer TVs, They don't have the TV that's it's very narrow, so the screen's only this big, but then it's deeper than it is wide. Like the depth of it is like this big from like a TV from 1964. Luckily they had color. But then as you get on better buses, the TVs, they get wider, the screen gets wider, and they get thinner, so they start looking a little bit better. And then when I got to AAA, the best part is you get a sleeper bus. Not always, but when I was with the Orioles, we had a sleeper bus. It was fantastic. They had all beds. And so you could just, whenever you got tired, you just get into your bed and you fall asleep. That was the absolute best, because then you can, you get to the next city early in the morning, but I don't want to say you're refreshed, because, you are bumping a little bit on the ride, so it's tough to completely get a great night's sleep, but way better than listening to reggaeton and having lights in your eyes, okay? And you could shut the curtain, you get in there and you could shut the curtain so it is pretty dark, and you could fall asleep. Actually, one of my main memories back then, I was writing a book on the mental side of hitting. I actually still have it. It's a long book that I never published, but I remember sitting in there with my computer just typing up like mental skills. I don't know, I was a dork, I guess. And but I wrote a lot of books. I wrote a book on infield play. Yeah, I have that upstairs. I actually need to make that into a course now. I will use that, but I spent a lot of time on that. Tried to make a course on the iPad, and we filmed it, and I was like, I don't even know how to make a course on here. So I wasted a lot of time, but I don't know, it was fun, I guess. So that's bus rides, and when you get to AAA, it's much better. It's much more comfortable. And people might say like, oh, I'd rather fly, but flying in the minor league stinks because you don't take direct flights, take connecting flights. You have to take the first flight in the morning, so like 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. flights. It's terrible. I would rather bus on a sleeper bus. That was like the best travel I ever had. And then in the big leagues, we only bust one place. We bust to play the Dodgers, so we take a bus from San Diego to LA. I think it's like 2 hours, and it's a fine bus. It's a nice bus, but you're barely on it. So you watch some TV or whatever. You just relax. You read a book. You talk to your friend if you have any friends, and that's fine. But you're going to take beautiful planes in the major leagues. So Those are bus rides in the minor leagues. And actually, before I go, I have to tell my Spider-Man story. I've told it a bunch of times, but this is what happens in Double A, okay? So in Double A, one of our players, I will not say his name, he would Spider-Man people. And so new players that came to Double A, I'm going to tell it a little quick. If you want to see the whole story, just type in baseball Spider-Man or Matt Antonelli Spider-Man, you'll see it. And so what he would do is, late in the night, like 3 in the morning, when a new guy would get up to go to the bathroom in the back of the bus, this guy would take all his clothes off and he would jump up and he would hang up on the top where you put like your bags, and he would do it right in front of the bathroom, and he would put his hands on each side and his feet on the other. It looked like Spider-Man up there, like he was stuck to the ceiling. And his face would be facing the front of the bus, and his backside would be facing the bathroom. And so you'd come out of the bathroom. Never happened to me, thankfully. I saw it happen to someone else, and I never went to the bathroom again. But you come out of the bathroom, you can't see your tires, 3 in the morning, it's dark, and then all of a sudden you start to walk, and then boom, sorry, that might have been really loud. Sorry if you're a headphone wearer. You walk right into this man. And I don't know, he thought it was funny. I don't know if he enjoyed it. I'm not really sure what it was about, but that's what he did. That was like the hazing of the new guys. You got Spider-Man. And thankfully, when I got called up, there was other young guys on the bus, and they went to the bathroom first and got it. I never got Spider-Man, thankfully. But anyways, I don't suggest you do that. That's probably some type of, you probably get arrested for that. But when you're on a baseball team, usually no one, that stuff happens. Not a lot. I don't want to say you get Spider-Man all over the place, but stuff like that happens, and people think it's funny. I don't know. Today they might not think it's funny, but back then in 2007, they thought it was funny. So unless it happens to you, then you're pissed. That's all we have. This story has kind of taken a turn that I didn't think it was going to take a turn to. But if you have any more questions, put in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later. If you've enjoyed this video and want to learn more about building the elite swing, check out our new course. We have over 2 hours of content, almost 30 hitting drills. We break down the exact mechanics that you're going to want to implement into your swing. I've put the link in the description if you want to go check it out.